My name's Rusty Sitton. I'm the Redneck boat guy. I build two-cylinder racing outboard boats. I build the props to go on them, and we also sail a 33-foot catamaran named See Y'all Later. Hope you enjoy the channel. Well, we got a new addition to the Redneck garage, and there it is. Whoa! All right, I'm ready to get that Shopsmith 5 started, man. Get some things going on the toothpick. You know, I've been just pilling at it an hour or two a day, whatever. But now with the tools and racing season coming up, I'm gonna have to get after it. Gonna see some good build videos coming up. This is my second bulkhead, if you look back here. And I've got my transom filled in like I want it. I've got the extra pieces on there that give it the new shape that I want. This is I think 14 degrees, and it's like 4.5 inches long here, and then this goes to 26 degrees and it's 2.5 inches, and I've got, I don't know, a 1/2 inch long drop there, so I'll have a lap strake down here and lap strake here when I'm finished. So that's as wide as I wanted to go at the back. But on this next section forward, I wanted to go a little wider, because this is where the inertia, right? When you're turning, this is the right side, the inertia of the boat really hits right here. You got the motor in the back and the driver right there. So this is the primary place where a boat's gonna turn. So from this one and a little bit of the one forward is where all the magic happens on the turning side. So what I did, like I say, the back one being around 14 degrees, this one's about 11 degrees, so I dropped off about 3 degrees of an angle to give it a little bit of a better wave busting situation, a little more length from the center of gravity out there, so that it would the boat would handle better. You know, it would bust through the waves. Before, man, it was a steep little short little angle. In fact, you know, for straightaways, I'll have a piece of, here we go. Got a ruler here behind me. Previously, the trap was something like, about like that. It was like it was 2.5 inches tall and only about that long. So you can see the difference in what's going on here. This will be less aggressive, I guess, into the waves. So yeah, we tried it like it was, and it was too trippy. So now we're going to something that we can make the turns with. This length here is, like I say, 3 degrees less, but it's also longer than the back end. So this is going to be actually wider, so that the lift point here, as water hits it and lifts up, is going to be further outside yet. And this is nothing more. This peels off the top of the waves. If you get some really tall waves, they're going to hit up here. That's why I angle it more degrees. It's 26 degrees, so that it'll be as high as possible from this point to the bottom of the boat. Which, let me look at that. Just a rough guess right there by eyeballing it. I'm talking about 3.5 inches of height, where I had 2.25 before. It's gonna be much better. And of course, these are, you know, this will all get plywood on it. Like that. And of course, there'll be a, you know, a piece here, which will really just be the stringer, because I'll cut into this to put the stringer in here, and then cut into this to put the stringer out here. But yeah, that's what it's gonna look like, and that'll be about what the deck looks like on the side. It'll be quite a bit more leaned in, but that's all right. Heck, we only turning left. You know, most runabouts, or all, I guess all runabouts, have always been the same on both sides. Very, very few times you see a runabout, I guess, that is different on one side than the other. But you know, you see hydros like that all the time. Offset cockpits, different size sponsons in different places, all kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not worried about it being an issue. You know, this being a little bit flatter, it's going to pick up a little bit of water here, but I got a pretty good lap strike down there. So you know, it's not going to pick up water a lot. And then once it goes in the straightaways, you know, that'll be slightly off the water even. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of drag by having the extra inch and 9/16 is what it is of width here. I think it's going to be totally offset, this drag, by the fin on the other side, right? You got a fin dragging on the left. This will give you a little bit extra if there is an issue just going straight. Man, I'm using cypress wood. I really love this cypress. It's light wood. I found a grain that forms a shape. The grain grows, so it's almost like it's a grown piece. So that's going to be strong. And like I said, I'm fixing to build a bulkhead. Now what this bulkhead will be, it'll go in on this side here. So let's back up and see here. I've got a nice flat side over here from the old bulkhead to the new piece. So I'm going to lap my bulkhead in here like that. Of course, it'll be stood up. But to do that, to get that bulkhead shape, I've got this cool tool. It's a pattern maker. So what I can do is I can go up in there and show me the profile that I need to cut the top of my bulkhead. So that's what I'm going to do. That will fit directly up against the top of the deck. So I'll be able to cut my template on the top and then just cut it to length on the bottom because it's straight right there, and let it come straight on out and then trim it to fit back on this side. So that's my goal. That's where I'm headed right now with the toothpick. Got my second COVID shot today, so my wife doesn't want me doing anything, wants me to lay up. Apparently you're supposed to get sick or something with the second shot. I didn't affect me at all on the first one, but we'll see. But here we are, man, building a toothpick. Get her going. All right, here you can see that I've placed my template on the top of this piece that I know is too big for the bulkhead. I placed my template on there, and it's already marked out, but you just run this around the template, and that gives you the design that you need to cut out. So that's the top of the bulkhead, where it'll fit up under there. Then all I'll have to do is measure from this point to see how deep it is, and that's a straight cut. So that one won't be a big issue at all. A little bit of an issue here where the saw isn't wide enough to run that piece right straight through there. So I got to figure out something else to do here. I guess I could come at it from this side and cut into that, and do that here as well. Okay, now you see I've got that cut out. Kind of had to use the offset of the blade to kind of knock out those low spots, but it came out real nice. So yeah, there's a profile of the actual, turn it over. That's the top from the inside of the bulkhead. There's a stringer here, and it goes through a couple of little spots here, I'm not sure what, and then comes up and goes to the outside. So let's go see how that fits. See if that piece will go in there like I'm hoping it will. Let's see here. All right, so it's gonna fit. Oh, that's right. It's gonna be too long, so it won't really go in there. But you can see that it'll fit up in there okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the length. So let's figure that one out. All right, with the tape measure, I'm just gonna go up and get a rough idea. From the back of the bulkhead to the bottom down there, I'm just, you know, it's nothing magic, but I'm reading about 10 1/4 inches. It should be about the same out here to the max depth, 10 1/4 inches. Yep, maybe. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece a little bit longer than that and sand it in to fit, make it just right. So I'll cut this, I don't know, 10 3/8, something like that, and see how that works out. Okay, so I actually decided to cut it 10 1/2 inches instead of 10 1/4 because it's easy to sand in. The top will fit, and then I can sand that bottom in. Here we go. All right, let's bring this over here and see if it'll fit in the hole. It might. We'll just try it. I'm sure it'll probably have to be trimmed in a little bit, but this will give us a pretty close feel for how that's going to be. Yeah, see, that's not bad. If you can look back over here, you can see that it's not fitting, of course, all the way up. So I'll have to sand it in, but shoot, I like how it's fitting up top. Yeah. So let's go do that. Let's sand it in and do a couple more little test bits here. I like what we got going on. Yeah, the way it was feeling to me was that this end was a little tighter than this end when I slipped it up under there. So I drew me a line on here that's slightly deeper here than here, so I can see when I cut into it how far I'm going. So let's see about doing that. Okay, well that trimmed it almost to that line, and heck, I'm gonna go fit it and probably come back and trim it a little bit more. We'll see. Okay, yeah, I went over and fit it. I solved my offset issue, so what I did is I scribed a line a little bit further back, and we'll cut that, and that should be really close. It doesn't have to really wedge up in there and fit super tight, but heck, why not, right? We're gonna try it. Get it as close as we can. Okay, so that took a real nice edge. Man, that's super flat right there. It sands really good, so heck, let's try that one out. I bet you that's gonna be a close fit. Thought I'd save you the wobbly ride over here this time, so I came ahead and set the camera up and look. I bet you it's gonna fit. I hadn't tried it yet, but man, oh yeah, it fits in there without being super tight. So now I know I've got my contour up top, right? And I can fasten into the existing nailer up here and the existing bulkhead and lap into that, and lap into that same bulkhead here on the other side. Probably be best to show you on that other side what I'm talking about. If you look down there, you can see that there is the old bulkhead, right, that comes out to here, and I've scarfed on a new piece of wood. But I'll be able to nail from the back side through this all the way down through here, all down through here. So it's really gonna make a nice strong structure. And I'll end up putting some lightning holes a little bit up here where we don't need that much structure. But now all I gotta do is come down here with my pencil and mark this bottom edge, and then mark this edge and continue that line on up there. And I got a bulkhead. All right, there's our bulkhead. And like I say, I'll be able to trim off anything I don't want. That's my first non-trip. There's my second non-trip, and that's back to the decks. So yeah, it's gonna work. All right, well, that's how you make a bulkhead. I'm gonna go over and trim out the inside, and then we'll come back and show you the final shape. Man, that bulkhead is 4mm, so it's not real thick and light. It doesn't have hardly any weight. But boy, you put it in there and line it up with that structure right there, and you've got a lot of rigidity here. So once it's fastened to the top and to down here, that'll give you a lot of compression right in here, a lot of compression strength. And then when you add the skin on top of that, you'll have tons and tons of compression strength in there. And likewise here, once you get all the pieces on it, you've got a lot of compression strength up there. That's what bulkheads are for. Not only to shape the boat, but to give you that compressive strength that you really need. So that's how I built the bulkhead. It doesn't matter that it's not going to fit all the way here, because there will be a piece of wood that is the outside stringer that goes through there, and what it'll be cut out, right? This will be a solid piece of wood going through here this way. I'll trim that end off and then shave the outer piece of wood to this shape. So doesn't matter that it doesn't go all the way out here. All it really needs to do is contact that wood real well, and shoot, that's such a nice profile that I'm happy as snot with it. So that's how you build a bulkhead in a hydro or runabout, where you use stringers, ribs, and bulkheads to build a boat. And that's pretty much how you do it. Well, that's all we got today for the Redneck Garage. Thank you for checking in. Hey, if you hadn't subscribed yet, do that. I've seen some people that seemed like they were subscribed at one time and maybe it went away. So check and see if you subscribed. I appreciate it. Talk to y'all later.